internet. This video posted by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is going viral on the internet right now. Many of you have tagged me in it about what was on Donald Trump's backside. You can obviously see his backside, which make that judgment for yourself.
What are we doing? Leave Mr. Golden Dawn alone. I mean, come on, guys. It's just the golden age of BBLs. You know you're just jealous. Now, the point of this video is to just address the absolute absurdity the media is right now and what they are talking about. They are talking about Mr. Golden Dawn and his behind. If he's wearing a diaper or not. Who knows? Maybe he's been hitting the hip thrusts, hitting the RDLs. Maybe he's just doing some Bulgarian split squats. Who knows? But that's just blowing my mind that this is what's newsworthy. That they are talking about his behind, whether he has a diaper or not. And it's like, this is where we're at. This is idiocracy. And could you sit there and comment about my video that I'm contributing? Sure, I'm just trying to make laughs. I'm trying to make jokes. I'm just trying to comment on what's going on and to just say to you guys, it's all clown show. I don't know how we've even gotten here at this point, and I'm just kind of tired of it, personally. I am just done, as you guys can tell. I haven't been making as many short formed content or videos, and it's because the Lord has been calling me to do something different, and that is the podcast with Alina that we will be posting every Friday, and a longer form content, able to just speak what God's doing in our lives, our experiences with Him, and just walking as children of God and what that looks like practically, and just trying to encourage, lift up, and just speak love and truth into the body of Christ. And these short form videos can only do so much. And to be honest with you, I was kind of thinking about this last night. Even if you make a really good TikTok video that's really edifying, really encouraging, what does it really do? Because you just forget about that video almost instantly. I mean, do you remember any video that you watched like last week? Can you remember one video you watched that you learned something and then you carried on? I mean, maybe a few, but for the most part, you just forget it because the short form content is meant to just keep your, brain looking for the next one, and you might find a good video and you like it, and then you go to the next one, you keep scrolling, and then you forget about that one video that was really good. So the longer form content on YouTube, a podcast form where you're able to listen to, hour and a half, seems to be a better conduit to actually receive information and to contain or to, hold it. I personally have felt that listening to podcasts or videos or sermons or something, I feel like I retain that information better than a short form content wise. So yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. And saw that video, and I'm like, okay, how can I make it funny, make you guys laugh? Possibly. I know some people will be offended, and I'm sorry. Just trying to have some jokes here, trying to laugh. It's all just part of the clown world. But with it, just trying to encourage you guys as well, and also inform you if you do not know by now. Podcast, What is God Doing, on Live by Faith Ministries on YouTube every Friday. I'm looking forward to filming this one tomorrow, then releasing it Friday, and just having a good time. No edits, no redoing, just pressing record and just going from there and just having a good conversation with coffee and acting like you're there with us, just having a great conversation. I hope that you guys enjoy that. So yeah, I just want to tell you that. Love you all, guys. God bless. Remember, the just shall live by faith.
I thought I just let my dog in, but then who is this? Hello? I mean, I guess I could keep both of them. One could live in the walls.
Yo. Bro.
And here's the thing with cameras and all that stuff too. The public just doesn't trust the government anymore. That's just where we're at. How about we have flock cameras on everyone who's in a government office? How about we have them at their house and we can watch them? That's fair. We should have that with a lot of things. If anything, you're able to watch us, we should be able to watch them. Whether you're a congressman, whether you're a judge, whatever your position is. If you're gonna watch people, you should be able to watch them. Might be.
We have Nicholas Copernicus holding a compass. We have Kepler holding a compass. We have Isaac Newton holding a compass. And we have Galileo all holding a compass. Kind of reminds me of the compass and square. Now, why is it that all of these people that took part in inventing the heliocentric model, they're all holding a compass? Well, because they know the truth. You see, a compass is for drawing a circle. So it's symbolic of the circle of the earth. Not the sphere of the earth, not the potato of the earth, the circle. And the square is for drawing straight lines. And then you can create right angles. And the cube. You see, Plato discovered that every single thing that manifests into material form has to follow specific mathematical limitations. And the cube is essentially the simplest way of representing how things are limited in this physical universe. Beauty is not something that is random. Things manifest under specific mathematical limitations. Symmetry, proportion, and specific relationships between numbers that form different shapes create beauty in the physical world. G is the 7th letter in the alphabet, and that's why we have G in the center of the compass and square, because we have 7 primary colors. We have 7 classical planets. We have 7 musical notes. So 7 is the number of God. And the God of this world is the God of geometry. And all of the ancient cultures understood this. They didn't make these beautiful structures by just randomizing them. They constrained them according to specific mathematical limitations. That symmetry, those mathematical limitations, made these structures beautiful. So the God of this world puts us under this limitation of geometry in order to make a beautiful physical world. The earth must be flat. I made this video for entertainment purposes only.
Folks asking some serious stuff like, they say, Yash, is it true? Would I have to do something really crazy to be a singer? Well, if you stayed independent, you would have to. I talk about Ro James a lot because he didn't have to do that. It's upsetting that brother talented as Ro, he didn't have to do that.
This is not real. It's just a dream. Please, wake up. 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 Wake up.
Everyone's saying that, like, my mom's a clone and all this and that.
Britney's 19-year-old son went live last month to shut the rumours down, that she's not a clone, and to stop it, and to do your research. And fair enough, but then this video resurfaced, and it's the reason that people won't let it go. Watch her arms come up right here. Let's just pause. Look at that transition. From when she brings her hands up to then going over her eyes, you can see that it doesn't look like her eyes. People are saying it's a filter. There's a theory that she's AI. She moves her hands across her face. That's not the face you know. Look at the eyes. And it's not just this one. People have slowed down loads of different clips of her. Britney's son also addresses the gap in her tooth that she's always had, but she hasn't. Because when you look at the earlier photos, she doesn't have a gap in her tooth. Then it gets even eerier because you go back to 2008, Break the Ice video. She's in a clone lab. Nothing to do with the song. And I'm not saying she is one. I'm saying pause it yourself, then explain the video. Let me know your thoughts below.
Red Bull may be known for giving you wings, but not if it's being sold at McDonald's. And why do I say that? Because an employee at a McDonald's posted a video showing how the Red Bulls are being transported to McDonald's locations. And the one thing you'll take notice is that they're locked up behind the counter. Have a look at this video for yourself.
Just to let you know, y'all were wondering about those Red Bulls being in a cage, right? So here's my walk-in freezer. Told you we just got our cage a couple of days ago.
And they've got something on top of the cage, you see it?
Sits in the middle of our walk-in.
So as you saw, McDonald's is receiving their Red Bulls and sending them to their locations inside of this crate/cage, because you can see that looks like a cage to me. There's a latch on it, can't tell if there is a lock. The one thing that she did point out is that they also put, which is weird, their iced tea machine on top. Is that so someone can't run back there and quickly flip the lid open and remove a couple of Red Bulls and take off? And I'm pretty sure after seeing a lot of those viral videos that have been all over social media of individuals jumping counters at McDonald's and causing a scene, that this played a big role into why those Red Bulls are coming inside of a case. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear.
On the night of November 16 of 2024, a school teacher stands outside of his class while struggling to remain calm. Only a few minutes ago, he was just inside setting up decorations for his class when he had to stop and immediately walk out after seeing something that made him jump out of his skin. Now, the school that he teaches at doesn't really have a history of paranormal occurrences, but the students there would often make up stories and rumors about the school being haunted, specifically by a student who used to go there. Whether or not this student actually existed remains a mystery. But tonight, after encountering what just happened, he no doubt believes that his class is haunted, if not the whole school. This is what he caught.
All right, I'm just finishing up putting up decorations for the students when they get back. I was on the smart board setting things up. I'm taking a step back, and you guys know me. I stay late often. It's just me here and the janitor. And let me show you. Do you see? Do you see? I mean, is that not a kid sitting right there?
It appears that someone is sitting at a desk towards the back of the class while facing the board in front of it. Now, just for reference, this is what it usually looks like when there isn't someone occupying a seat. Nothing stands out because clearly nothing is there, but somehow either someone or something appears. It's hard to make out any specific features, but there's definitely an outline resembling that of a child's, as viewers noted. Because of this, the instructor believes that the spirit of a former student had come to see him. However, they had come way too late to class. Now, it's worth noting that a few months ago, the school had an accident involving someone who went there. It isn't certain, but the following footage might be related.
What's happening? See, but they just put a girl in the back.
The specifics of what occurred are unknown, but according to a source, the student had unfortunately passed away only days after the accident. Ever since then, the kids at the school would come up with rumors saying that the girl's spirit haunts the building. If that's so, then this definitely makes what was captured a whole lot more interesting. But of course, I'll let you come up with your own judgment. Was a ghost caught on camera? Or might there be something that could possibly explain what was captured? As always, let me know what you think down below.
What was captured floating across the skies of Mexico? If you haven't seen the videos, take a look at this one for yourself. Check this out right here. They're above the power lines. They appear white at first, and then they change colors to orange. And they're all floating in sync across the Mexico sky. And as I pointed out, there are multiple videos of this occurrence that took place in Mexico, posted all over social media, with everyone asking the same question. What the heck was that floating over Mexico? In my opinion, they personally look like these lanterns right here that people light and send floating up into the sky. This is a still image that I took off of the first video. Take a look at them. They all appear to be white at this time. And then as they start floating across, they start to turn orange, looking very eerie similar to these things right here. So I guess my question to you is, what do you think they are? Are they UAPs? Alleged UFOs? Or are they those lanterns that people just light up and send in the sky? But that many floating in sync like that across Mexico? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to.
Music has done a very good job at dulling the senses. I remember distinctly before XXXTentacion had passed away, he had a interview with DJ Academics.
I've seen that. Yeah. It was like a live stream he did with Academics.
It was a live stream that he did with DJ Academics. And he's talking about frequencies and what frequencies have the power to do. And I remember XXXTentacion, he had said that it's about frequencies.
Music is frequency programming. If I play with those frequencies, I can target certain parts of the mind.
And when he explained that hertz, kilohertz, and megahertz, he's like, I can switch the frequencies in my music in such a way where I can make you astral project.
If I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
I'm like, what? What do frequencies do to the human body?
People don't understand. When XXXTentacion is saying that, this is a person who knows music very well. When he's talking about manipulating the frequencies to make you feel a certain emotion, this isn't new age garbage. He was a very genius person who understood how music worked. People don't even know that a lot of music theory itself is actually just witchcraft. I'm not being ultra religious and saying that music is bad. We know that God created music, but there are so many ways that you can manipulate music into making people feel.
There's actual geological evidence that there's water erosion on the outside of the Temple of the Sphinx. And this is where Robert Schoch came into play. He's taken photos of that erosion and brought it to other geologists and said, what do you think this is? And they said, well, that's water erosion. And then he shows them where it came from. They're like, I don't want to have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine the timeline of human history is so controversial that you're worried that it would ruin your career if you spoke accurately about your field of expertise, which is erosion and geology due to rainfall. Thousands of years of rainfall. Well, thousands of years of rainfall means, at the very least, the Sphinx is 9,000 years old.
Yeah.
Did the ancient Egyptians know about Wi-Fi 5,000 years ago? Did they know what military helicopters would look like? Or tanks? There's no way they were this accurate about the rocket that would eventually take humans to space. Better yet, who did they learn about electricity from? Or is it that humans are in constant cycles and this is just the latest one? Because the closer you look at this image, the more you see that what this man is holding in his hand connected to a power source, and it has electricity running through the bulb. You weren't the first with advanced technology. Stay weird.
Clip came from TikTok creator RCL Beauty, who swore up and down that the flowers in her backyard were blue. Then she went out to film them the next day and they were unmistakably pink.
I think this plant might change colors every day.
Okay, here's the color of it right now, right? That's pink.
The internet did exactly what the internet does in this situation. Mandela effect, simulation theory, glitch in the code.
Yeah, so if you want to be the next big star in Hollywood, you got to play that game. And that game is dancing with the devil. And like I told y'all in previous videos, there's no way out of this. Once you sign that oath, once you sign that blood, that's pretty much, you pretty much sold. And like I said, these billionaires like Floyd Mayweather, they don't own a damn thing. That money is on paper. They could take that shit today and they won't be shit tomorrow.
Someone called Usher shapeshifting at one of his concerts. Watch this. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Those are very reptilian eyes. These are not the eyes of a human being. I say they have infiltrated society. I mean every aspect, entertainment, politics, religion, all of it. They are here and they walk amongst us. Stay weird.
what is going on in this James Blunt video. You see that person in the back with a bag over their head. Something is going on here, guys. James Blunt seems excited in this video. Look, he's smiling. Something's up. I'm not sure what James Blunt is taking this guy right here, whoever this person is with this bag over their head. They kind of dressed similar. Something is going on here, guys, with James Blunt. Straight up and down, bro. Remember? I remember her talking about something that happened to her when she was on a boat when she was 18. Rest in peace to Hayden, but something's going on here, guys, with this James Blunt video. Now, I'm not sure why this person is tied up with tape around his mouth. Maybe that was the guy in the back of the boat because he got the same color shirt on. Something's going on here, guys, and maybe it's nothing going on here. Maybe this is just a video, right? Whatever this means, main course is you. I'm not sure what this means, guys. People are saying that it means something that it doesn't, so don't you dare say it. I don't know about this. Main course is you? No, main course is supposed to be food. Something is going on here, guys. Maybe he was taking a girl out on a date and he wanted to let her know that the main course was her and not the food, right? But if there's one thing I do know is that this video is for entertainment purposes only. James Blunt was just on a boat with somebody in the back that didn't know where they was going because they had a bag over their head. But obviously it's just a video, it's not real. I don't know. Let me know.
Why is there some really weird craft floating above a Texas explosion? Before we get into it, I already used an AI checker to see if it was AI. Not only is the video real, Grok even said it was real. And this craft is shooting something from under it. Unrelated. We've had a whole lot of, factories and food processors just blow up the last few months and the last few years. Now, clearly, it's way too high to be a light pole, so don't even try. And right here is a still shot from that. Of course, it's really grainy, but again, this was also detected and said not AI. So it's all of it is not AI. What do you think it is? And just a quick FYI, the way these AI detectors work is because AI videos, when made, have microscopic branding in the pixels of the videos and the photos. This is very strange and completely unrelated from all of these explosions we've been seeing for so long. Time to go look through videos of old explosions, I guess, right?
In the following video, two sisters are alone at home, hiding inside a room when their house alarm starts to go off.
I'm recording. Wait. Do you hear that?
As it seems, someone had entered their home. Their security camera shows the front door open, suggesting that someone did in fact break inside. But what's strange about this is that when they replay the moment the door opens, no one is seen. It just seemingly opens up all on its own. Now at this moment, the two sisters didn't see how the door opened up. They just saw that the door was wide open, and it doesn't help that they just heard a police siren outside their house. But as if the situation couldn't escalate anymore, this happens.
What is it?
Clear.
As it seems, another presence had been inside the home, though not the kind they were expecting. Both sisters initially thought a person had broken in, but upon watching the footage and seeing the small, shadowy figure dashing past the camera, they knew that this was something else. Whatever this was doesn't appear to have any discernible features, and it doesn't help that it moves exceedingly fast before disappearing out of nowhere.
The fact that it just moved so quickly,
Yeah.
but then like the motion capture camera didn't see that shape. And like when it was
Even the camera seems to have trouble identifying the figure. There's moments when it passes by and no visual tracker appears around it. But then strangely, at times, the green box appears in a dark room as though something was being detected. Never before has the camera done this until tonight when the door opened by itself.
front door opening on its own, that closed, we closed that door.
And I mean, this house is like brand new. Like it's not old or like anything.
Yeah.
Considering that all this activity was preceded by the door opening, they believe something paranormal had forced its way in, which makes you wonder about the video from early on. Could it be that something supernatural had opened the bedroom door at the beginning of this video? Or was it simply due to something else? After watching the footage, it's hard to say what exactly occurred. Just what exactly was the camera picking up that night? As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
What's that? Oh, there's whistleblowers coming out talking about how there's certain classifications inside of morgues. What? Tell me more! Yeah, what these people are saying is there's certain classification inside of morgues, and what that means is there's the human classification, and then there's the non-human classification. They said that there's a completely different procedure that you take for the non-humans, and we're not talking about dogs, cats, or animals. Meaning when a human passes away, certain processes happen, such as body going stiff, maybe the mouth opening, things like that. So they have to prepare them a little bit different way than they would the non-humans. They said with the non-humans, typically what will happen is they balloon up a lot more and they don't fit inside of a regular size coffin, and so they have to make a custom one for them. They said there's a pretty rigorous process for them to be able to keep this quiet. They literally have to sign NDAs, and they have to agree to being basically phone tapped and being monitored on the daily. Oh, goody.
You see, Lindsay Clancy has a problem. She's currently on trial for premeditatively killing her 3 kids. Now, the word premeditatively is the key word here. It basically means she thought about it, she planned it, she did it. The defense said that's a damn lie. She did it. She just didn't plan to do it. She was going through psychosis at the time. See, this case is a little more complicated than it may seem, but first, we gotta understand what happened. You see, one day, Patrick, who was Lindsay's husband at the time, was working from home. After he finished working, he said, "Look, Lindsay, we don't got time to cook, so you want me to go pick something up?" Lindsay said, "Yes, absolutely." So as Patrick's leaving, Lindsay texts him at 5:15 p.m. Remember that time. "One of our 3 kids needs medicine from the CVS. Can you pick it up on your way to get food?" He said, "Bet." So Patrick goes to the CVS, picks up the medicine for the kids. He calls Lindsay, says, "Hey, is this the right thing?" She says, "Yeah." He goes to the restaurant, picks up the food, drives home. When he gets to his house, this is the motto of his house, by the way, everything was quiet. He said that's a little weird, so he starts calling out to everybody, his kids and Lindsay. Nobody answers. Eventually, he finds Lindsay outside on the floor. He asked her what happened. She said she tried to herself. He said, "Okay, where are the kids?" She said they're in the basement. So Patrick goes to the basement and finds the 3 kids, calls the police. Police pull up. Everyone is in agreement of what happened. Patrick said, "That happened." Lindsay said, "That did happen." Prosecutor said, "That happened." Police said, "That happened." Lindsay's defense said, "Yeah, everything Patrick said happened." People are even in agreement about what happened before that took place. Lindsay said, "I was very, very depressed. I was experiencing psychosis. I was seeking help from mental health professionals, from everyone around her." Patrick said, "She was. She absolutely was." Her defense says, "Yes, she was." The mental health professionals come out and say, yeah. She called me. We prescribed her this. She was absolutely seeking help. Everyone's in agreement with that. But the twist is the defense is saying, well, you see that she was seeking all of this help. That's why she was experiencing a lot of mental health issues. And the prosecution is saying, no. That's just an excuse. The kids because she wanted to. Now that you know what happened, here's where things start to get wicked. I'm going to give you facts. We about to get to the nitty gritty of it. First fact, Lindsay, when she tried it herself, it involved her jumping from a high place. She's paralyzed from the waist down because of it. The defense said, you see that she tried it herself for real. She really has mental health issues. The prosecution said, I don't know. She was getting help. Like, what y'all mean? This right here is one of the people that was helping her. The defense said, well, I'm glad you brought this person up because the help she was getting is actually the problem. The defense goes to this psychiatrist lady. I forgot her name. The defense said, okay, all the stuff you was giving her, like, was it working? She said, I mean, we was working on it. It wasn't quite, so he said, you didn't do your job for real. That was basically the psychiatrist's argument with the defense. And it was really intense. He was damn near cussing her out, talking about, I found a mistake on your paperwork. What's going on with that? She said, you trying to make it seem like I'm stupid. It was just like a typo. He said, a typo? Ooh, a typo. She said, ooh, you rage baiting me. The judge had to come in. He said, hey, y'all gotta chill. Not in my courtroom. The defense said, oh, so you making typos? You prescribing her whatever, this and that? We just giving her whatever we want. Matter of fact, give me another psychiatrist. Next psychiatrist, pull up. Next psychiatrist, pull up. Defense said, so what was you prescribing her? This, that, and the third? He said, defense, next psychiatrist. He started calling psychiatrists out. Turns out she had like 13 prescriptions. Another psychiatrist pull up and said, yeah, she did pull up and say she wanted her stuff. She said it was getting real bad. The defense said, okay, so what did y'all do? Psychiatrist said, well, we didn't do anything. The defense said, excuse me? Yeah, they said, yeah, the rules state that you got to have a plan about yourself before we can actually commit you to something. But, I sent her some resources, and the defense said, where are the resources you sent her? I said, you know what? I actually didn't send her resources. So you can probably see where Lindsay's defense is coming from. They're saying, look, the mental health system failed her. In fact, Lindsay and her defense have a separate civil case where they're suing many people in the mental health system. The prosecution is saying, nah, that still wouldn't have drove her to her kids. That part she did on purpose. She might have had mental health issues, but not bad enough she did that on purpose. You could see by the text she's sending people, like she seemed that she was sound of mind. Like she did it on purpose. And that's pretty much the case that's going on. Now you'll notice that nowhere in this video that I mentioned the husband, Patrick, being the culprit, because that is absolutely not the focus of this case by the defense or the prosecution. But let's talk about why people believe that he might be. See, if you'll remember earlier, I told you Patrick was working. He leaves the house to go get medicine for the kid at CVS, and he goes to get takeout, right? Well, he left the house, remember this number, hey, coincidence, it's actually 5:15 right now. He left the house at 5:15. The CVS is about 3 minutes away from their house. The cameras catch Patrick walking into the CVS at 5:32. He leaves the house 5:15. It's 3 minutes away. He gets there at 5:32. The mathematics ain't adding up. People online are saying, oh, that's weird. But in the actual trial, they didn't really seem to care. Because remember, that's not the defense's argument. That's not the prosecution's argument. But they did ask him about it. The prosecutor told him, look, why did it take you so long to get from your house to the CVS? He said, I don't know. The defense pulled up. They said, no, we got this prosecution. Look, Patrick, we're not saying you did it, but we really need to get to the bottom of this because we got something else over here. It says that you sent an email to your job at 5:24. You leave your house at 5:15. An email gets sent at 5:24. Does that mean you were still at the crib? Like, what's going on for real? Patrick said, bro, I don't know. I might have sent the email from my iPhone, but I know I didn't leave the house that late. I might have sent it from I don't know. I don't remember. That's a little weird. But regardless, the defense did not follow up on this. Now, people also noticed the husband, Patrick, seemed to have changed his clothes. He seemed to have changed his jacket from a short button down to like a longer button down because he's also caught in surveillance in the restaurant. In the restaurant, his shoes seem different and his jacket seems like it has a zipper that pulls down lower. Here's a closer look at his shoes when he was in the restaurant versus the CVS. His shoes seem different, and again, they're saying the jacket seems different. Defense did not follow up on this. They're maintaining this had nothing to do with their case. They're pleading that Lindsay absolutely did it. but she was going through psychosis. People also claim that this might be one of Patrick's friends walking to the CVS, and this might be Patrick going into the restaurant after he finished the kids. And now that I look at this picture a little closer, do these two people seem to have different hairstyles to you? Okay, but regardless, that's neither here nor there. The defense is saying, we don't care about the hair, we don't care about the clothes, we don't care about this, that, and the third. The defense and the prosecution maintain we are both in agreement about what happened, Lindsay and the 3 kids. We're just not in agreement on why it happened. But regardless of who you think did it, the question of the trial is, can she be held responsible for her kids, even though she was crying out for help, constantly explaining to people that her mental health was really deteriorating? And that's a question the jury has to ask, and that's a question I want to ask you. What do you think? Let me know. And truly, rest in peace to those 3 kids, because I feel like they're forgotten in all of this, but they should be mentioned first and foremost. Rest in peace.
There's a crisis with the water level at the Hoover Dam. This doesn't just affect people in Nevada. This affects the whole west coast of the United States. I mentioned this before in a video from yesterday. Our fresh water reserves are going down. So the Hoover Dam is at one of its lowest levels of water in decades, and that's because the Colorado River that feeds into it is also at one of its lowest levels. So less water in the Colorado River, less water in Lake Mead, which is southern Nevada, and the Hoover Dam. And like I said, this affects a big portion of the west coast of the United States. Because that fresh water from the Colorado River and the Hoover Dam, that goes not just to Nevada, but California, New Mexico, Arizona, Wyoming, and Utah. Now, here where I live in Nevada, Reno, we get our fresh water from a place called the Truckee River, which feeds out of Lake Tahoe. And we have droughts occasionally, but we're doing a lot better than people on the Colorado River or in southern Nevada. And like I also said in a video before, the Mississippi River in the Midwest, that's also down at a historic level. So this should be the biggest news story in the country, that our access to fresh water is deteriorating. It might not affect you too badly now, or 6 months from now, or maybe even a year from now, but it's coming. Okay, I just wanted to share this information with all of you. Till next time, shabadoo booshkis, shabadoo.
Flat cameras are basically Big Brother. The minute Trump in his second inauguration, they've been infiltrated everywhere. Who are the flat cameras owned by? Palantir? Who's Palantir?
Palantir's an Israeli defense system.
I don't know if this is true. So basically, Israeli spying technology and cameras are being set up, let me make sure we're saying this right, all over the country from their Israeli defense system. Why do you think that is? Would we allow the Mexicans to do that? Would we allow Russia to come and do that? Would we allow any country to come and put up their defense camera spying system in our country? Hey, but keep watching the papers and believe your favorite politician. We've been infiltrated. The quicker people understand that, the quicker you'll start waking up going, hey, wait a minute.
So let's talk about extraterrestrials holding public office. And by that I mean if Mitch McConnell actually shows his face, I'm not going to believe it's him. It's going to be an alien. I mean, I want y'all to think about it, folks. June 14th of 2006, meaning this year, he was hospitalized after a fall at his Washington, D.C. home, and we haven't seen him. So, 60 plus days and over 2 months, Mitch McConnell, a person holding public office, we have not seen at all. His staff can keep releasing photos, but I'm not going to believe it till I actually see him. And if he pops up being in perfect health and not just some wheelchair-bound Weekend at Bernie situation that we've seen for the last couple of years, I'm going to believe it's, an alien. He already looks like Franklin the Turtle in a skin suit, but I'm really going to believe he's just an alien in a skin suit if he comes back in perfect health after 60 plus days. I see Trixie Mattel questioning where Mitch McConnell is more than actual people holding public office who should be questioning where a member of the Senate is. But remember, folks, there's no federal law requiring paid maternity leave, but we can continue to pay Mitch McConnell to not show up at work. But once again, where is Mitch McConnell?
There's literally smoke following these children. Why, up there, it's still following them.
Now, I don't know what this is about, but it looks like white smoke is following these kids. people are saying this, guys, and you can see it right here. Now, I'm not sure if they're being protected, but something is going on here, bro. I'm not sure if that's good energy, bad energy, but it looks like clear smoke or white smoke following these kids while they're walking. Something is going on here, guys, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you know what it is. Again, look at it right here, guys. This is not AI. I don't think this is AI at all. Something is up, guys, and I think we're getting closer to the end, allegedly. This is what people are saying, but maybe this is a good sign, maybe this is a bad sign. But let's not forget, guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what's going on here, and I ain't never see no white, clear smoke following anybody. I have no clue what's going on here. Let me know if you know. I'm out.
There's this video that one of our supporters sent to us, and it literally captures poltergeist activity, bro. And you could say it's probably fake, but bro's throwing his kids. Let's be real, bro.
So a quick backstory about it. I'm sitting down on the sofa with my dog. Our mastiff is leaning up against me. He's barking and he's not stopping, right? So I'm like, dude, chill, bro. This is like 1 or 2 in the morning. My wife's in the background with the cat. So I'm recording. I'm like, Rhino, chill. What's the fucking problem, bro? Stop the video. I'm like, let me look at a video before I delete it. So as I'm listening or watching it and stuff, this loud scream is heard about 19 seconds in, dude. And it is loud. Like, you don't even need to turn the volume up. It's that fucking loud.
Nah, hold on.
And it's only heard in the recording. It was not heard while we were recording the video. Hey, stop it.
Hold on. Wait, I don't think that was edited, bro. Why is the dog barking? And why the fuck did the dog bark at the same exact moment that the scream happened?
Hey, stop it.
Wait, and there's 2 videos of...
That was like a month ago with the dog. And then, so about last week, I was watching one of the soccer games. I work nights, so I worked 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Got home. I think it was over like at 1 or 2 or some shit. So I ended up laying down. She got home around the same time. I was like, I'll lay down with you and take a nap. So I was like, all right. And mind you, her job is like body recovery. She works for like a mortuary service, dude. She goes and picks up bodies from like the morgue and the hospital and takes them to the cemetery.
What the f? No. I thought it was gonna be some other. The saxophone just keeps getting louder and louder, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna send this video. She was so nervous, dude. She brought her legs up like to her chest, like almost sitting Indian style, right? So she's recording. She zooms in on my ankle, and I think she said she did that because she wanted to make sure that nothing was moving. And I usually kind of like shake my foot, like that restless leg syndrome type of deal, until I pass out or whatever. She zooms back out. She goes to the left, and bro, I shit you not, dude. I swear to God, dude, on my kids, bro, on my grandma who raised me, the neighborhood who raised me, like comforter starts moving.
On the hood.
Okay, but it looks like somebody grabs the ends of the pillows.
Nah,
bro. Something grabs, wobbles it. The left side goes down, the right side goes up. And that's, brother, that's from the top.
No! No! Yo, I was just about to say, all right, the beginning one, it kind of looked like your feet, bro. Like that, it looks like the... Okay, no, that's weird. That was weird.
What the... Could you have like gone like this with your feet to like move the
pillow?
Yeah,
it's possible. It's not impossible. Like, are we gonna take his word that he swore on his kids, his wife, his hood, his grandmother?
Come on, why would he do all that?
All right, if someone does that shit, then Loki pieces of shit, bro.
A 5-year-old boy in China had the dream of making his own animated movie, but he could never imagine what the world would eventually do with it. Now, the work on what you're seeing now began 5 years ago, after the boy's mom decided that she wanted to make his dream come true. So, for over half a decade, this mother and son taught themselves animation completely from scratch, using second-hand equipment because new gear was too expensive. And that's also why the movie looks the way it does. And they also didn't have any help from AI. I mean, they were literally the only 2 people credited on the whole film. Writers, animators, even voice actors. Just the 2 of them working on a story about a cow that's nearly 90 minutes long. Now, when it finally released, it flopped. It made barely any money, and cinemas didn't even get official posters, so some just drew it themselves. But since it only cost a couple thousand to make, it didn't bother them. Then, something weird began to happen. People started noticing just how bad this animation was, and so they wanted to see it for themselves. But that curiosity spiraled into a genuine box office hit, and the movie has now exploded to over $2.5 million so far. And it's even going viral globally online. So I guess the lesson is sometimes you just gotta put your shit out there. Let the world.
Okay, hold on a second. Are we on the same wavelength? That there's no way you build a bell that's almost £500,000 for no reason. Like, these served more than a purpose of making just this little sound and being cool looking. You don't build almost immovable objects for no reason. So what happened with all the old bells, and why was the whole world all about bells? You see them in Nepal. They got bells all over China, all over the place. You got a gong. Think of the gong in Japan and China. Bang. What's with the bell sound? Well, it turns out bells have been used as a spiritual weapon to repel demons and evil spirits. But if you've ever seen Spider-Man 3, where Venom infects Peter Parker there and he turns into the evil Spider-Man, well, when he's in the church and the bell rings, it terrorizes the Venom, which then falls down and lands on the other guy who turns into Venom. But that was shocking to see, wasn't it? So then why? The official story is that these bells, I think they rounded them up to like make tanks or something. It was during the war. But people are very curious what the real angle is about bells. Now, I was looking into my local bylaws. You can get a bell on your property and ring it, just not at 11 o'clock at night. So you could have a bell. This is what, think about wind chimes. All these things is sound, frequency, energy, vibration. Think about how you can take a tuning fork and bang it and then bring it close to another tuning fork, and the other tuning fork starts matching the same frequency. There's a code to be cracked here of sound, energy, frequency, and vibration, just like Nikola Tesla knew. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Politician's cloaking device literally stopped working on stage in front of everyone.
Listen.
He's Venom. That's the same voice as the Marvel character Venom. You know, the symbiote from outer space, the alien? I believe his cloaking device stopped working for his voice. What you heard was his true voice being exposed in front of everyone. You can see he freaks out after his voice is exposed and tries to grab water, but this didn't work. You can see people look around and look at each other and say, hey, this guy's not human. I think they're here. Stay weird.
If you're one of those individuals that enjoys a good turkey burger every now and then, you may want to watch this next video. And why do I say that? Because a woman purchased some turkey burgers from her local supermarket, placed them onto a grill, and they began to foam. You heard what I said, foaming turkey burgers. Have a look at this video for yourself. Check this out for yourself.
These are turkey burgers. Somebody tell me why. They're foaming. Like they're made with soap. Look at this.
That's not getting eaten. I hope it's not getting eaten.
Look at that, it's like soap.
If I didn't tell you what that was on the grill, you would have assumed it was a sausage patty with egg around it. Am I right or wrong? Where have you ever seen foam like that come off of turkey burgers? And she's 100% right. It does look like soap, and it picks up very foamy. And if you do a little research and look that up for yourself, there is some sort of unofficial explanation for it. And it is the fact that it is protein and water coming out of the meat when it's being grilled. And I don't know about you, but I've cooked turkey burgers before and never had that experience in my life. And at the end, she ended up throwing them in the trash where I believe they belong, because can you imagine putting something on the grill that's supposed to be meat and it starts foaming like that? Do not eat it. Bring it back to the store or just toss it in the garbage. So I guess my question to you is, have you ever had that happen to you cooking any type of meat? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear.
A lot of people, one of the loudest ones being Charlie Kirk, were so incredulous that October 7th could happen, and the Israeli government just had no idea that it was coming because they have Gaza under one of the most extreme surveillance systems ever to exist in all of human history. So you have all these component parts, Peter Thiel and Palantir and Alex Karp, Andreessen Horowitz that has invested in a lot of these AI surveillance companies, also invested in Palantir, also a major investor in the free press. And this is all part of the same group that, as you say, is inextricably linked, not just to building a domestic surveillance state, but also a foreign policy that is very neocon in nature, very warmongering in nature. They all wanted the war in Iran. They all love and worship and revere Israel. And of course, it is in the interest of people who wield the greatest power to find out and know as much about their domestic population, because that gives them the greatest control. And that's always been what the
round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend.
You need to hear this, because looking back at old 90s TV clips, it's different. This one is totally bizarre. Listen to what they dug up and read to millions of people. Right when there was a massive political scandal, someone went out of the way to find a child's creative writing assignment, and her prompt was to describe herself as a slice of pizza. Just listen for the clip, because it gets worse.
We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this. Quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of topping. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum.
Why was it the specific poem? The way they took that poem and made it into something else is quite sickening.
It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with them.
No way. What is this? Look. What the? Shh. Shut up. What was that? What was that flew past the window, guys? Something is going on in this video, I'm telling you right now. Let me slow it down just in case you missed it. Look. What the? Shh. Shut up. You seen it. What was that, dogs? No way. What is going on out here, guys? People are saying that this video is real and it's not AI. You see it in the window. And once that person started walking towards the window is when it went down, like it knew it was walking that way. Something is going on out here, guys. People are saying that could have been a witch, allegedly. Or people are saying that could have been the Grim Reaper, and I don't believe none of that. When that person looked out the window, nothing was there. Nothing was there. And if you ask me, guys, that was just a big black garbage bag, all right? Shut up. Something is going on here, bro. I don't know where this is at. I don't even know why that person still lives there after seeing that. Something's going on here, guys. People are saying that's the Grim Reaper, and I don't believe that. There's no such thing as the Grim Reaper. Nah, but for real though, who's that? Ah! Who is that right there flying past the window and disappearing? Something's going on out here, guys, and I think we're in the end times, honestly. Not just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only, is nothing to worry about. Everything is good. We got our whole lives to live. Let's worry about things that really matter, right? I don't know what this thing is. Let me know if you know what that thing is. And I don't think this video is AI. Straight up. That's what I don't think. I mean, it could be. I'm out.
There's this old, ancient Irish folklore that relates Ireland and Scotland to Egypt and Moses.
Pardon?
It all starts in Egypt. There's this princess of the pharaoh named Scota. So she was the daughter of Pharaoh. She married a man, and his name was Niu. He was a very wise man, incredibly knowledgeable. So Pharaoh brought him into the court, taught all his priests, and then gave his daughter as marriage. They gave birth to a son, Guaido Glas. Guaido Glas was bitten by a venomous snake, and they brought him to Moses. Moses healed him, and then Moses prophesied over Guaido Glas, saying that his ancestors would one day occupy an island where there was no snakes. The Exodus happened, so they fled Egypt, ended up in Spain. They became a very powerful people. One of these guys, his name was Mil España. Mil España had this vision where he climbed up this tower and he saw Ireland. And he says, that's the land I want to take. They encountered these people that were the natives to Ireland called Tuatha Dea done. They were supernatural beings that conjure things. So what they did is they brought their own druid. They literally had a magic battle. They battled these magical people, ended up defeating them, and then occupying Ireland and Scotland.
Someone needs to make a movie about this.
I know.
Dude, yeah, druids in Ireland having a battle.
If you go to a Lana Del Rey concert, be careful. A lot of people were saying she shapeshifted, and the energy there was just demonic. People were also reporting that her eyes were glowing, not even on camera, just them looking at her, her eyes were glowing red. But it wasn't even just her that shapeshifted. People were also reporting that members of her band shapeshifted as well, and that all of their faces looked distorted. You gotta remember that concerts are mostly for energy harvesting. Yeah, the music's good, but it's got you in a trance for a reason. The next time you go to a concert, just pay very close attention to the musician's face and the members of the band around them. Stay weird.
Devil's in the details. So from a distance, you look at it, you think you're seeing a dog, but then you look closer. Why are you looking at me?
Guys, it's happening today. The Artemis crew is about to officially reach the moon. I'm gonna be live streaming the entire thing, and you need to make sure that you do not miss this.
Well, tonight, the Artemis 2 crew is closer to the moon than ever before. They've also captured this new photo of the far side of the moon.
So this is actually about to happen in just a few hours, and I'm gonna be going live here on my page so we can watch the entire thing together. If you were there on launch day, you already know what this is about to be, and if you weren't there, this is your chance. Just 5 days ago, we got to watch this crew leave the Earth, and today they are reaching the moon. I have been here every single day, covering every single photo, every single update, every single moment, and today is the day that all of this has been building towards. The flyby around the moon is going to be starting around noon Central Time, and again, I'm going to be streaming the entire thing on my page. The footage, the photos, the crew disappearing behind the moon, all of it is going to be happening today, and you're going to be seeing it here. 1.2 million people watched the launch live with me, and it was the most insane night on this page. Guys, here we go again. Make sure that if you're watching this video right now, you go ahead and add me right now. You need to come back at around noon and let's watch history together. It is about to happen.
Listen up. You will own nothing and be happy. Tokenization of H2O. Elites are claiming the world's water supply and plan to trade it. Yep, you heard that right. This is not a joke or exaggeration. The facts are out there for all to see. For those who don't understand tokenization, here's a short and simple explanation. Tokenization means turning something real, like a share of water rights, a measured volume of water from a river or aquifer, or even credits for water that was saved or recycled into a digital token, a unique digital certificate that lives on a blockchain. And a blockchain is simply a shared digital notebook that many computers keep identical copies of at the same time. So the records of who owns what cannot be secretly changed by any one person or company. That token can then be bought, sold, or traded on the markets, the same way people trade stocks or other assets. Instead of water simply belonging to the land like it's supposed to, the local community, or the people who rely on it, it becomes a financial product that large investors, corporations, and institutions can own fractions of in exchange for profit. Because again, you will own nothing and be happy.
Yo, Usher was just recorded shape-shifting, like no bullcrap at all. So let's dissect this thing real quick. Watch this dude's eyes. We're gonna slow it down in a minute too, like really, what? Yo. This is real, this is his concert. This is really him. When these artists say that something takes over them when they're on the stage, they are not lying. We've heard it over and over again. Jay-Z's Rain Man. Nicki Minaj's Roman. By the way, the demon Roman has been passed to celebrities for years and years and years. Now look at this picture. This is straight from the video, no alterations whatsoever. But back to Roman. Hold on, I got mosquitoes singing in my ear. Conspiracy mail going out this week. If you want to join, say Milk Club in the comments. By the way, pretty sure that Roman went from Lil Kim to Nicki Minaj to Cardi B. Who sure got the lizard spirit?
About 100,000 people are still without power in Indiana from that series of storms from over a week ago. Yeah, that was over a week ago, and still 100,000 people about have had no power since then. And the authorities themselves there in Indiana are saying it could be another week till all those people get their power restored. Think about how it would be for you living without electricity for a week and then being told, oh, it's probably going to be another week. Look, everything that I do counts on power, electricity. I don't know how I would do it, much less people who have families and children. But that's what people in Indiana are going through right now. And they're saying it's the largest outage in recorded history in that area. And even with work crews doing the best that they can, like here in Gary, Indiana, where they're clearing trees away from power lines, the people are still suffering because they don't have electricity. They don't have their basic needs. And there's some stories coming out of people who had generators getting them stolen. Yeah, they've been stolen. So I have a bad feeling, and this is just my opinion, this is nothing else, this is just my thinking, that this is just the beginning. That this will eventually happen all over the place, at least all over the US. So let's at least have some sympathy for the people in Indiana and hope it doesn't happen to anybody else. Okay, till next time, Shabadoo Booshkies, Shabadoo.
Archaeologists not only just found, but also opened and discovered a hidden cave chamber that's been sealed for over 40,000 years, and you are not going to believe what they just found inside of it. So these archaeologists were just excavating a known cave system whenever they broke into a hidden chamber that's been completely sealed off by nature for around 40,000 years. This hidden cave chamber was just literally untouched since the Neanderthal times. To put this entire time frame into perspective for you so you can understand how big of a deal this is, the room was sealed off before cities, before writing, before recorded history, and before the pyramids. They were able to find animal bones from extinct ecosystems, including evidence of predators like the hyenas and the lynx. They were even able to find a large shell that came from the ocean that had to be carried to the cave by Neanderthals themselves, because how else would it get there? This immediately told all of the scientists that were in the cave discovering all of this stuff that it was not just random. The Neanderthals were actually using this space. This place is now officially believed to be one of the last places that the Neanderthals ever lived before they completely vanished off the planet. So they're saying that this chamber might actually preserve what the world looked like during their final years on Earth. Hey, this is obviously insane. Researchers are already starting to say that this could change how we understand the Neanderthals, because once again, it is now proving in history that they were not just cave people.
Wait till you see what I found. I don't even want to make this video. This is not Western North Carolina. Surprised? It happened again in almost exactly, if not exactly, the way it did in WNC. Why are the main news stations not talking about how Indiana's been out of power for 7 days? That and everything is completely flooded. So we'll come right back to destruction because I've been scrubbing radar data for hours and hours and hours. Okay, pay close attention to above my head. You'll see all these beams popping up. Then out of nowhere, this massive storm comes right where the beams were, completely unrelated, by the way, to the storm. And then as the storm came in, the videos are showing that it was absolutely green, almost like everything is frequency. And then look at all this. Up here, right, but all this stuff exactly where it was pointing, all this stuff comes out of nowhere. Unrelated. By the way, check out this straight line or beam that's going directly into the storm. Real quick before we continue, Conspiracy Mail is going out this week. If you want to join the club, say Mail Club in the comments, and I'll reply with the link. Details for that and the raffle and giveaway you can enter for free is going to be in that link. Also the pinned comment or link on my page. And this was the wave. This is like the third, fourth, or fifth wave after. We're about to look at the first one, which is really crazy. So this was before the beams right here. Exactly like with Western North Carolina, we had all this crazy storm come out the same exact location, not move at all, and be there for absolutely freaking hours. If you know, you know. What a crazy storm the state that is very rich in lithium is going through. And completely unrelated, it just came out that all the residents of Indiana stopped the centers. For real, that they stopped them for a whole year, then a couple days later, not related whatsoever, obviously.
Where are the people who own these vehicles?
Now let's take a trip back to WNC. Why are all these vehicles all over the freaking road and no one's coming back to get them? Remember how hard it was for them to get help in Western North Carolina? Wasn't that a little bit odd? Now these vehicles are being left behind? Almost like the help wasn't really helping at all and just there for, you know, video appearances. And now the same exact thing is happening in Indiana. It looks terrible. 7 days, no power. Make sure you're praying. You know the GOV is really not too much help. They might just be the opposite of help. If you get what I'm saying.
Y'all, this is exactly why you don't try to contact the dead. A group of friends were together hanging out and they decided to use a Ouija board. Not a lot happened with it, so they continued their little party together and they took some photos. Now it just so happens the person they were trying to contact was a friend that had passed away in a car accident. But in one of the photos they took, they captured something that wasn't that friend. Standing behind the woman who owns the Ouija board is a figure. It has a very long neck. There's no defining part of the head. It looks like it's in a long black cloak, and there's an appendage coming out of the cloak with really long, lanky fingers. Now, they either invited something in with the Ouija board or didn't close out the Ouija board correctly, because this thing definitely came from that. And what it is, I'm not sure. But I would recommend getting rid of the Ouija board, because it's going to be really hard to get rid of that thing in your house. What do you guys think this is?
Now this next video comes from a man who, while being alone at home, spots something out of the corner of his eye. It happened while being in his living room scrolling on his phone. For some reason, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. Paranoia was getting the best of him, as he thought, so he tried his best not to think much of it. But just when he started to ease up, he sees it. A figure standing at his window. He immediately takes out his phone to record it on the off chance that no one would believe him. Now we don't see the figure on camera, but something else happens that terrifies him to his core. This is what he caught.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard I'm freaking out. I am tripping. There's something in this house with me. There's something in here. I'm telling you. No.
What initially comes off as just a video of someone being paranoid is in fact footage of something completely different. This is made obvious by the sudden movement of kitchen items, but even before that, the man's overwhelming sense of unease makes it clear that something strange is going on. Whatever it might be that's happening, the man hopes to get more of it on camera, and even if he doesn't, then at least he can rest assured that this was captured.
Hey, hold on a second. Did you guys hear what Amazon was just revealed to be doing? And the only reason we know this is because someone decided to get clever, and they had a hunch, and they put an air tag in a certain product, in a certain package, and it went to a certain place. Listen to this story, man, because this, especially from me, because I have ancient books. You guys know I have books that are like 200 years old. So hearing this is shocking. An investigation by the independent tech outlet 404 Media revealed that Amazon is running a secret operation codenamed VGT3 in Las Vegas that buys, scans, and destroys rare books to train its artificial intelligence models. I wanted to double check that this is completely legit. And yes, this is Google's AI of all things. That is quite ironic, isn't it? But mainstream news is also covering this now. It's just breaking in the last 24 hours. And the fact that their logo has a T-Rex devouring, or he's grabbing onto this book, they're not really hiding it, or they're hiding it in plain sight. So journalists uncovered the program by hiding an Apple AirTag inside of a rare obscure book that was part of a massive 1,000 book order on the marketplace Biblio. They tracked the package across several states until it reached its final destination, an Amazon warehouse complex in Las Vegas, Nevada. But the problem is they don't just scan the books. To scan them efficiently, they have to cut the spine off. And then boom, bang, bang, the book's destroyed. So the reason they're doing this, they say, is because books published before 2022 contain zero AI-generated slop, which is vital since training AI on other AI data degrades the model's quality. So I guess if AI was just teaching itself, it would end up just being unfavorable. Again, as someone who has several really ancient books, this story hits close to home, man. This just makes me want to increase my ancient rare book collection, to be honest. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
As more communities installed these cameras, the debate moved beyond traffic stops and into courtrooms, city council meetings, and state legislatures. Because people weren't just asking whether Flock worked anymore, they were asking whether it should be allowed to operate the way it does. The lawsuits. For years, automated license plate readers were largely challenged in city council meetings, newspaper editorials, and public hearings. But eventually, the debate reached the courts, and the question became much larger than flock safety itself. It became a constitutional question. When police collect the movements of thousands of innocent drivers, have they conducted a search under the Fourth Amendment?
No way. What is going on with Usher, guys? Look at his eyes. Something is going on with Usher, and people are saying that they don't think that's him. I don't know how his eyes did that, because my eyes can't do that. I can't believe this. What is going on here, guys? People are saying that they don't think that's Usher. Something happened with his eyes. Maybe it was the camera, right? Maybe it was the light, right? That made his eyes look like that. Now, I'm never going to say what his eyes look like, because you know what those eyes look like. Shut up! Allegedly, this is what people are saying. Who knows if that video is even real or not? Something's been going on with Usher for a long time, guys. For a long time now. At least a few years, allegedly. This is what people are saying. But that video in the beginning is absolutely wild, guys. And I don't know why he looked like that. And somebody had the nerve to say that maybe he was possessed. That's not true. Usher is not possessed. He's an artist. He's great at dancing. He's great at doing what he does. Is this Usher or Blade? Is this Usher or Blade? Because who does he think he is right here? I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only, but something was going on with Usher. You seen his eyes. You seen what that was. They don't look like my eyes or your eyes. Let me know what you think about this. Allegedly, this is what people are saying. I wasn't there. I don't see nothing. That could have been a camera glitch or something.
This looks like the middle of winter, except this happened near Mexico City on August 1st, in the middle of summer. A massive hailstorm hit parts of Mexico City, leaving streets buried under so much ice that it looked like a massive snowstorm swept through the area. Is anyone else starting to feel like we're living Geostorm in real life? Like, what is going on with our weather lately? And why is nobody talking about it?
Vou ver que se o galera tudo certo. Opa. Opa.
some kind of wolf, dog-like animal is seen. Some say it's explainable and it's just some kind of wolf species. Some say it's AI generated, and others point out supernatural qualities within the animal. There's something about it that just looks strange, right? Almost.
Okay, we need to talk about the Dean Withers rape allegations because there's actually a deeper level to all of this. Firstly, are the allegations true? Well, currently there is no credible evidence to suggest that they are. The screenshots of this supposed conversation appear to be manipulated, and the photos used to run that account appear to be stolen from a real 13-year-old girl in Australia. In fact, that girl has since come forward herself showing her original unedited photos next to the doctored ones, saying she is not involved in any of this. But despite all of that, the Dean Withers accused of rape story has got millions and millions of views across the internet, triggering death threats, bomb threats, and they're clearly starting to take a toll.
They finally found their way to get to me. They're always looking for that way. And they found it.
But here's the part that not many people are speaking about. If you look at the videos and posts fueling these allegations, they're not really debating on whether the allegations are true or false. In fact, many have openly said they don't believe them either. This all seems to be fueled by left versus right politics.
I think you're hypocritical because you falsely accuse people without evidence, but get angry when people falsely accuse you without evidence.
They claim Dean in the past has backed the Believe All Victims movement and called people, including Trump, pedophiles and rapists with little evidence. And so many are using these allegations, even if untrue, as a see how it feels political point. The major problem is this time this political back and forth has come at the expense of a real 13-year-old.
I used to mock flat earthers. I made fun of them. I banned them from my social media because they're too stupid to even listen to my podcast. This is when I did the Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole podcast. But then I was forced to look, Brad, and I took the time. And here I am, Flat Earth Dave. I walked away from my business. I'm here. The app the app is how I make my money, which is awesome. And I believe God gave me this app. I don't know how the hell I developed this app. It's incredible, but it gave me the ability to do this full time. I'm in Vegas here. I did 7 podcasts yesterday with Jake Shields. I do you today. I've got 2 tomorrow, 1 at the Bitcoin conference. I'm actually going to do 2 more with Jake after this.
I'm going to see if I can get you on my boy Eric Worre's.
Please do.
You'd be willing to go do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Eric, because he's the one that like laughs a little bit.
Yeah.
But he just sent me that one video I sent you, and then you sent me back one for him.
Okay.
I want you to go see it. He sent me the Neil deGrasse Tyson video.
Yeah, I actually made, I haven't published it yet. I made a video based on that because I'm really tired of people saying, Neil deGrasse Tyson, oh, do you have tall buildings? You can watch the sunset. And I 100% show how that works perfectly on a flat earth. The one thing that you didn't bring up is people will say, and then when you give them the answer, they can't see it. Stars rotate in the opposite direction in the south and the north. Not true. When you are in the south and you face the South Pole, the stars go clockwise. When you're in the north and you face the North Pole, the stars go counterclockwise. Is that in a different direction? The answer is no, it's not, because all the stars rise in the east, set in the west, no matter where you are in the world. If you were on the axle of a car and you looked over at your left wheel, it's going clockwise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You looked over your right wheel, it's going counterclockwise. Both are going forward. It's just your angle, the way you're looking. And globers that believe that the earth spins, the stars spin in different directions can't even process that information. It's amazing.
Folks, there you have it. It is amazing.